Young and Restless is taking us on a dark ride courtesy of Sharon's psychosis. And good or bad, this story has everyone talking. Of course, other characters' lives are continuing to unravel all around her as well. Here's a look at what happened and what's coming up. Cracks have been emerging in Jack and Diane's relationship ever since she decided to kill Kyle, and those fissures are about to become a chasm. Indeed, we see them having yet another public disagreement in the preview for next week, and this one ends with Diane walking out. While Jack's been well and truly blinded by love for Ian's now, it seems Billy's recent comment opened his eyes just a tad. That remark, of course, was, "Word on the street is that you're losing power at Jabba to your wife." That was followed up by Diane demanding that they hire someone for Kyle's former position and totally dismissing Jack's concerns. Fast forward to next week, and Jack has clearly said something to his wife about overstepping, as she explodes and accuses him of not accepting that she's changed. Maybe that's because she hasn't. Where's it all headed? Well, as we know, Kyle pilfered a top-secret new formula from Diane's laptop to hand to Victor, which will give Lysaid a huge win in the market over Jabba, and give Kyle's dented ego the revenge fuel it needs to feel better. But it all adds up to a huge wake-up call for Jackie Boy when his company, his family, and his marriage all end up in crisis simultaneously. Lest we thought Sharon's dark thoughts had been extinguished by the shock of Heather's death, Cameron quickly returned to remind us, and her, that she still has a score to settle with Daniel. One would think having his wife murdered would be enough karmic payback, but apparently he needs to be framed for the killing as well. Oi! In next week's preview, we see Sharon stuffing the bloody towels into his liquor cabinet to make him look guilty. I, for one, am going to need to know what she does with the rest of the evidence she removed from the scene. Will she turn Heather's phone back on and stick it in there too, so as to lead the police to the damning discovery? While the frame-up will certainly work in the short term, unless the GCPD is incredibly incompetent, which they may well be, Daniel should be free in no time. Why? Once Heather's time of death is established, Daniel will have a concrete alibi. He was with Lucy at the athletic club when she died. Before meeting his daughter, he was also seen in public. If the Keystone cops mess that up, there's also the matter of security camera footage that's bound to come to light. In 2024, you can't tell me there isn't footage from that building or the bridge to help exonerate someone. Hey, with Paul heading back to Geno City, maybe he'll get to the bottom of this case. We'd also have to consider the possibility that Sharon will ultimately confess, particularly knowing Vale Bloom's teaser for what's ahead. Of course, this is a soap, so Daniel may languish behind bars for a while before the truth comes out. What really happened that night? Find out who I believe may have actually killed Heather here. Welp, Kyle managed to get Audra fired. What will become of her now? She's burned her bridges with virtually every company in town. Billy invited Sally to his launch party, just like Adam did when they first got together, but Phyllis is leaning on him for support. Are we gearing up for another battle of the redheads? Adam tried to shoot his shot with Sally again this week, and I had to wonder why he bothered considering he's supposed to be all about Chelsea now. Speaking of, they may have history, but Adam and Chelsea's scenes are not giving the feels. That crucial element has been absent throughout this entire storyline. The opinions expressed are my own. Please leave your thoughts on this week's Young and Restless in the comments.